Good morning, grade 7s, or good afternoon, depending on when you're listening this, to the very first UMath YouTube episode. I will do my best to make sure I speak up a little more than normal because usually the audio on these things isn't very good, so hopefully you can hear me. Today we are talking about circle geometry. And the terms we're going to be looking at are as follows. Diameter. Diameter is the distance across a circle in a straight line that goes right through the middle. But you probably already knew that. You learned that last year. The radius is, as seen by the red line here, halfway across the circle that goes from the middle right to any one of the outside edges. And as you can see from the two lines, the radius is only half the size of the diameter, or there's two radii in one diameter. The third term there is arc, and we already learned this before the break. The arc is any part of a circle's edge. And then finally, semicircle. You guys know that semi means half, so it's just half a circle. So those are the terms for today. You will be asked in today's lesson, lesson 136, to be able to draw your own circles. And for that, you do need a wonderful instrument called a compass. Not the type of compass you use to find your way through the woods, but it looks like this or similar to this. Anyways, some of the basics, just when you're looking at it here, sometimes that's a little blurry. Let's focus it in here better. Okay. Boy, that's really blurry. Anyways, this part right here sometimes needs to be tightened because some of these kits, they come quite loose, and it's very frustrating for students when this comes apart as they're drawing their circle because they have to redo it. So you may even have to take a screwdriver. I remember one year I did them to about probably 9 or 10 kids in the class, and it really made a difference just to tighten that one little screw there. The other thing is when you're putting this on here, make sure it's really tight, because the same thing, if it becomes loose, then it's going to wreck your circle. So just make sure that's really tight as well. So two different ways, or two different activities for drawing the circles. They're going to be giving you either radius or diameter. So if they give you in the question radius, they say draw a circle that has a radius of 1.5 inches. What you would do, write this down here. Oh boy, it's blurry. Come on. There we go. Radius 1.5 inches. So what you do is you take your compass, and along your ruler you actually measure 1.5 inches. And make sure you're using the inches side, not the centimeter side, because otherwise you'll be totally off. Then what you do is just put a point down, put the nice pointy part, sharp part on the point, and this is kind of what I like to do. If you have a kind of a slidey, slippery surface, you don't even have to really move the paper or the compass itself. You just need to rotate the paper. And as I said, if you got everything tight, it's going to work quite nicely. And then all you do is take your ruler, show the radius, and write 1.5 inches. Remember, inches are like those little ditto marks, the short term for it. So that's how you do a radius one. But what if they said draw a circle with a 2-inch diameter? Well, in that case, you do not measure 2 inches like we did with the radius. What you'll actually measure out is only half of that, which is 1. So you line it up, put down your dot, put the sharp part on the point, sure it's in place, and then just rotate your paper again. This works on a nice slidey surface. Okay. And you will notice that the diameter, or the distance across, is 2 inches there. So it's really not super difficult to do if you have everything set up, but the only way I could see someone going wrong is either not holding their compass tightly in place, or measuring the wrong thing on the ruler. Remember, radius, you measure exactly what they tell you, and for diameter you cut it in half. So in this case we just measured 1 inch here, so it's 2 inches all the way across there. So you're going to get a few questions like that on page 319 today. I think you can handle page 320 because it has to do with angles and identifying their measures, so you need a protractor for that, but you know how to do all that. I will give 3 U-Bucks to the first person who can email me the mistake in the answer key. So other than that, what I'm going to try to do also is to have some sort of a question and answering tutorial during the week on Zoom too, but I'll let you know more about that. Over and out.
That was easy.